This week's topic is, should you put your drawings on the wall? Is that, oh no, wait, that's not this week's topic. Tape. Let's talk about tape. What can you do? You can tape stuff to the wall. You can tape toys. You can tape video games. You can tape socks. You can even tape a banana to the wall. Why would you do that? Nobody cares. The important thing is this banana is here and definitely won't fall off. We have clear tape. We have double-sided tape. We have non-opaque tape. We have also scotch tape. What we don't have is a tape dispenser. So let's go draw a tape dispenser. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's go. Alright, and as you can see, I already did the pre-sketching and the ideation sketches, so we're jumping straight into the drawing of the little snail that I'm drawing here, which is actually not a snail, but it is a tape dispenser because this week's weekly design challenge, the topic was tape dispenser. And since I didn't come up with any good idea, I thought, okay, let's do something just really fun and really silly, like a herpy-derpy snail that will help us in that tricky work of dispensing tape. So as always, I like to keep my sketching style a little bit loose. Even when I go over into the final line stage, I will still keep this looseness and a little bit explore here and there, not be constrained by too strict lines. The idea here is just really to have fun. That I tried really to take that throughout the whole drawing process, just having fun and even explore a little bit later on, even if it's I'm putting down those final looking lines. And don't be afraid to use the sketchbook tools, because I usually am not. In the beginning I might have been, but then I learned, hey, these nice rulers and ellipse tools are here for a reason, and then I really just like to use them a lot. It's always nice to have your own hand-drawn lines, but yeah, just use those tools that sketchbooks give you. And as always, while I really enjoy doing lines in Sketchbook Pro, when I need to color, I do switch to Photoshop. While there's many drawings that I do in Sketchbook, I find that Photoshop is just a better fit for me when it comes to really just applying all the colors. And then here we are in Photoshop, and since my whole snail was a little bit well, herpy-derpy, as a friend said, I thought, okay, let's try and not be too realistic with coloring either. Just add a little bit of shine here and there and just make some nice shadows here and there. Okay, this is actually an interesting thing, because here I selected the color and I added an invert color to it, and that usually gives you the, not the opposite color, but also the complementary color that you just had. So in this case I had blue, and the complementary color is that orangish that you saw before, and then I just adjusted and tweaked the color a little bit, brought down the saturation to give this, well, gray, brownish, sort of hopefully plasticky looking thing. But yeah, that's always a good idea if you don't know what exactly colors you want to choose. Just take the colors that you already have and give it an inverse, and then you can, from there on, you can really work it a little bit. And then here just adding some more shines and some shadows to give it some more feeling of a realism, and also adding some shine and white lines to the tape to make it look a little bit more see-through. Yeah, and I also, I usually end up with quite cartoony style because of my dark lines, so what I tend to do, and I did it here as well, I just draw a little bit over the lines to make them look more of the color that we had there. And here you could also see me add a little bit of core shadow, which is a little bit darker where it meets the highlight area of the snail carapace? No, maybe it's not carapace. The only box have carapaces. Anyways, it's not of hyper importance here. But yeah, so in between the eyes is where I set the pointy area where you can cut off the tape. and I just decided here to add a little bit of shininess to that part as well. And then this is also an interesting part where I select the drawing. So I take away the background, select the drawing, copy paste it, Command-Shift-C, Command-Shift-V, so it puts it in the same space. Then I invert it vertically, I reflect it, and then I give it a blur, a motion blur. And I erase the lower part, so only the part closest to the body that I'm drawing is visible. And this gives you this effect of almost nice reflection. And then I just added some reflective lines to the surface below the snail as well. I feel I overdid it a little bit with shadows. Would have been nicer if more of this reflection is visible. I feel it's not so visible because of my shadows, but still, all in all, I think it's quite a nice effect. And as a final touch, just to readjust those other snails, make sure that you have a nice composition. It's always important to have a good presentation. And yeah, finally, I just always like to add a nice border. So I trim it to the Instagram size that I'm going to use in Instagram, and I just add that border that makes sure that your eye sort of stays in the visual. But yeah, that's all for this week. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and consider subscribing if you'd like to see more content like this in the future. For more regular updates, follow me on Instagram, and as always, wish you a great day and see you folks next time. Bye bye.